Hello and welcome to another edition of World Talks here on TVP World. I'm your host Benjamin Lee, and please join me and my guests on this next interview. As Warsaw hosts a major gathering of European legal experts at the ECLA convention, the focus is on how lawyers can practically implement artificial intelligence while shaping its regulation across the EU. With Poland advancing its own draft law on AI systems, the debate is moving from theory to real-world application. Joining us today on TVP World to discuss this is Alicja Jagielska-Burduk, chairwoman of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the Polish National Chamber of Attorney at Law, expert in international legal cooperation and regulation. Hello, and thanks for being with us here on TVP World.
Thank you for having me today.
So this is actually quite an interesting topic to regulate AI while trying to promote the use of it in a competitive manner as well. Can you help us sum up a little bit about what are the discussions at the ECLA or the ECLA convention, and what are some of the things that is being focused on?
Exact. So there are multiple things I would like to mention. So first, we hosted a meeting of European Company Lawyers Association in Poland at the headquarters of National Bar of Attorneys at Law, and there was a very extremely important workshop on ECLA future, where AI was a major issue. So from the in-house lawyers, for instance, approach and perspective, now with the use of AI, the decision-making process has shifted towards the legal departments. Then there are many challenges regarding the use of AI, the responsible use, the trustworthy AI. And here I would like to mention the guidelines that the National Bar of Attorneys at Law has launched recently. It was, to my recollection, the first such guidelines, such a toolkit of principles launched, proposed by the National Bar. And we are now sharing experiences with other bars, with colleagues from Czech, Slovakia. And in terms of AI and its use, it obliges attorneys at law to double check, to use it responsibly, to check the contract, whether we can use AI in cooperation with this certain partner. So this is a lot, and additionally, there is the AI Act, which is now to be implemented. There is a new draft law. There are works pending on it, and parallel, there are works on AI, omnibus on AI. And our committee of new technologies, run by my colleague Anna Augustyn, also prepared a special document with comments on the new initiative of European Commission. So there is a lot of going on, and it definitely affects our everyday work.
Right, lots going on indeed, and I think this is also a testament of how rapidly this technology is developing, that the lawmakers and lawyers and everyone's still trying to catch up to adjust to this new reality. But when it comes to practical terms, what should a European lawyer's strategy on AI implementation actually look like in practice?
Yeah, so now we have to think of, there is a new part of legal work, AI compliance, work on internal policies with the use of AI at the national level within a company. There is also a question who is responsible, and also the need of human supervision of the AI generated models.
Right, so I get that it's mostly pushing towards also, be it like accuracy, be it making sure that no mistakes from being made, rather than just a limitation of the use of it, correct?
It depends. In terms of legal services, the crucial thing is also AI literacy, skills, critical thinking, not being biased, not being cheated by AI, which can hallucinate. So definitely, from our perspective, it's essential to use, to adjust, to be agile when it comes to legal, when it comes to technological development. But also, we have to keep and to go in line with our core values of our mandate as attorneys at law.
Right, it's very interesting how this technology interacts with different walks of life and in different professions. We see people worried about their jobs being replaced, and also how that might affect everyone going about carrying our jobs. And as long as we're on the legal aspect of AI and its regulation, can you help us understand how Poland's draft AI law fits into this wider European approach that is now taking shape in trying to regulate the use of AI?
So now the omnibus on AI aims to simplify some processes, but still there is a new amendment and a new act of law under preparation. And then, for instance, there is a new authority, supervisory authority at the national level to be set up. So there are many discussions in terms of the scope of this of the mandate of the committee, the supervisory authority, when it comes, for instance, to the attorney's client privilege, because this is the core element of our cooperation, assistance, and legal services we provide. So here, this is the limit where and the border which cannot be trespassed.
Right. There's actually so many aspects to it. Like I said, there's also privacy issues, right? In the healthcare industry, perhaps using AI would violate some kind of HIPAA laws as well. It's a really new developing field. Now, what do you think are the kind of supervisory authority that could use AI, but also perhaps need some kind of oversight that we're talking about?
So you mean at the national level? So to some extent, because the AI obviously can be used, and this is a risk field in law enforcement, in legal services. So definitely this is possible. But when it comes to the authority, I believe that given the landscape, the evolving landscape with the digital revolution, all governments, they prepare their digital strategies, how they can use AI for the benefit of the citizens and the public services they provide.
How agile do you think the kind of implementation can be with all these limitations taken in mind and, well, a lot of concerns? Of course, we want to push things through and be as efficient as we can, but also I think you brought up a lot of very important things that we need to keep track of to make sure that no mistake was made along the way, or at least limit that to a minimum.
So there is a system in AI Act. There is the risk-based approach. So given the risk certain field gives, there are some in some fields it's banned to use AI. There are some restrictions. There is the option of sharing experiences and good practices, but it's a huge debate. And to my recollection now, during the works on Omnibus, there are so many angles, so many voices being raised, and so many doubts.
Yeah, that's also a very interesting thing to tackle as well. Like you mentioned, even within a small group, there's probably 5-7 different voices with different perspective on how to regulate it, and then we expand that to a broader level. It seems different countries also have their own different approaches just inside the EU. Do you think that this will make implementation very difficult going forward?
So I would like to mention now the standard setting document, the UNESCO recommendation on ethics in AI. This is kind of a document which can be an anchor to all the future regional regulations, how to responsibly use AI for the benefit of future generations. And this is not the regional document, it's a recommendation, so kind of a soft law document for member states.
Right. There's also talk about competitiveness when it comes to this emerging new technology, and usually the stereotype is EU regulates a lot more than competitors like the United States and China. Do you think that through regulation this is also going to be a field where being very cautious about it would actually put us in the back foot when it comes to competitiveness on a global level?
So it depends. It tackles with the geopolitical situations, which is now very dynamic, but definitely there are certain situations of AI washing when there are some misuses of AI in the marketing field of big actors, business entities. So I believe it's a matter of consensus, but definitely in going forward, looking for the future.
Right, but it's going to be very hard to juggle between oversight and innovation as well, right? I'm wondering in this convention, what kind of innovation ideas were perhaps touched on, and making sure that these limitations put in place also don't really hinder the development of the use.
During the meeting of European Company Lawyers Association, we debated about the role of general counsels, how the decision-making process is now being centered in the legal departments within the company, whereas the AI experts, other lawyers, law firms outside, they play like a supportive role, external role, giving expertise, but the final decision is being taken within inside the company.
Right. I'm starting to see why this requires so much debate, because we can see it almost shifting fundamentally how different professions are structured. And in your case, you were telling me about some shifting in structure due to the capability and perhaps the oversight of the AI as well. Can you help us understand a little bit about that?
Could you? I believe that with the responsibility, yes, and with the mandate. So I believe it's when it comes to the national implementation, countries are given certain space, but definitely there should be one way to follow when it comes to the implementation. But when it comes to the legal services, we have to adapt very fast, because we have to act for our clients, on behalf of our clients, and in their best interests.
Right. So going forward, where do you think AI is going to take us, be it in a different profession, regulatory-wise? Do you think there's anything that we should keep an eye out for in the future once this technology develops to be something even more mature and advanced?
So with this document, for instance, the UNESCO recommendation, and with the EU approach, we have to secure fundamental rights. We have to have human-based rights approach, and this is these are the values we have to save, protect, and bear in mind while drafting new laws, debating on it.
Right, definitely. Again, a lot to tackle there, and with this new innovation is going to come new challenges, but of course, we'll have to tackle it one at a time. Thank you so much for your input and insight. I really appreciate it, and thanks for being with us on TVP World.
Thank you very much for.
Cheers. And thank you for tuning into this edition of World Talks. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.